What's up, y'all? This is Chitty Bang, and I'm on the Renegade Millionaire Show, the podcast that profiles entrepreneurs, founders, and CEOs. Join us as we go one-on-one inside the hearts and minds of some of our generation's best and brightest. And now, introducing your host, my friend, Sun Group Wealth Partners Managing Director, CNBC and Forbes.com contributor, Winnie Sun.
Hi there, and welcome back to the Renegade Millionaire Show. We really appreciate you tuning in. We are here in beautiful Tune-In Studios in Venice Beach, California. I'm your host, once again, Winnie Sun, financial advisor, managing partner at Sun Group Wealth Partners in beautiful Orange County, California. If you could take a moment to follow me on Twitter, I'll update you on all things Forbes, CNBC, Fox Business next week. Gonna go to New York, very excited. And all things business. But really, I'm quite excited about today's guest. Actually, I've been kind of secretly stalking him for a little bit. But before I introduce you to him, you probably actually already know because you see his name in the line here on probably TuneIn's radio app. But did you know there are over 10 million plus professional chefs worldwide and over 90,000 culinary school graduates per year in the U.S. alone? And there are over 2 million restaurants in the world. That doesn't include fast food, with over 140,000 chef job openings in the U.S. So how do you manage all that? Well, I have a gentleman here, and I gotta do a full-on description. He is handsome, he is young, and he is in his manly purple shirt. His wife's with us, and so she's giggling with us. So welcome, Thomas. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Well, how does it feel to be, I guess, doing this trek over to the studios? How was that?
Oh, it was wonderful. My wife and I drove up from San Diego earlier this morning, got here about an hour ago, and ready to go.
And I know you were here just last week, right, for one of your big events.
Monday, actually, just 2 nights ago. We were in Los Angeles at Southern California Gas Company in Downey. We did a big Chef's Plate series there. It was our 5th one we did between Chef Freddie Vargas of Scarpetta, L.A. and Perry Chung of Forage, L.A.
Amazing.
Wonderful chefs, and it was a great event.
I know. Thank you. Well, Thomas
Keslinke. So think Slinky, but just put Kes in front of it.
Well, thank you for sharing that. So Thomas Keslinke is here with Chef's Roll. And so tell us about what Chef's Roll is.
Yeah, let me give you what I always call a short version of a long-winded answer. So Chef's Roll was launched in October of 2013 with the mindset of wanting to work with professional chefs on a global scale. We quickly realized it was limiting us of who we could work with by only working with professional chefs. So we then opened the network to all culinary professionals, people from line cook and student all the way up to Michelin starred. About 6 months after launching, we realized that there was a greater opportunity here. We started being reached out to by companies as far away as Australia and the UK and the Caribbean, wanting to get their product, service, ingredients, anything with culinary in front of our audience. As our social media component started really gaining traction, we realized there is a good opportunity in working with brands as far all around the world.
All around the world, it's huge. If those of you who are listening, you should actually Google. It's chefs with an S roll.com. It's incredible, this community. Everybody, so many of my good friends that I know in the chef world are on your site. And when I spoke with my very good friend, Top Chef finalist Shirley Chung, I said, Shirley, I want to do this study and book on chefs. Where do you think I should go? And she says, you go to Chef's Roll. Chef's Roll, because it's the LinkedIn/Facebook of all chefs. And in that industry, and I said, wow, to have a top chef tell you that is a big deal. So I started hunting you down. And I got to tell you, I think we should circle back a little bit about your history because you have such an impressive background. I actually expected you to be 80 years old when you walked in here. I didn't expect just barely 30-something and this handsome because let me tell you. So Thomas, you grew up in Chicago.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Which is a good place for a culinary background, right?
Yeah, it was.
They got some good pizza there, don't they?
They do. World class.
Yeah?
I personally think it's a lot better than New York pizza.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, New Yorkers.
Okay, I hear some anger out there, but that's okay. I think it's great pizza too. So you grew up there, and your background is incredible. So in 2011, you directed a team at Deloitte & Touche, a really small company, but you helped run a $42 million hospitality program. At what? When did you start? When you were 15?
I think I was 28 at that point. I was there for a little over a year, I believe, and yeah, we ran a $42 million catering operation out of the North America's largest facility. We had, I think, like 12 floors and just a massive team. And it was there were several of us running it, but yeah, it was really really challenging at times, but it was, looking back on it, it was kind of fun.
So what did you like now that you're as successful as you are today? What did you learn from that experience working there?
Two things: one, how to run a large team, and two, that I never want to work in corporate America again.
Oh, interesting. That seems like a very common millennial theme now that we've been meeting with a lot of up and coming greats. So now you own your own shop. I mean, during that time, you were also a partner at a very large consulting, branding, social media based company in 2012. Right?
Yeah.
And then you owned Eat Privé, a gourmet catering company from 2010 to 2015.
Yeah, so I'm not a chef, but I do love to cook. So I took my a part-time hobby and turned it into a very niche high-end catering company that we were operated out of Washington, D.C. for about 4 years.
So what is your best dish?
Ooh. Let's see, ossobuco.
Really?
Yeah, that's a really
I would
good
have
one.
to ask her wife to see how good that was, huh? She's grinning right now, so I imagine it's pretty good.
It's a good one.
And now that you're so busy, how often do you cook this dish?
Well, we have a 14-month-old now,
Yeah.
so not too often, but my wife actually, I should say, started a dinner club with some friends of ours, and
Wow.
so we try and get together about once a month and really shine when we cook.
Good job. That's a great idea. It kind of circles back with your aura, which is all things food. I'm really loving this. I mean, I can't believe you stay so fit in the food world. We're gonna have to talk about that. So then you co-founded Chef's Roll in 2013. So talk about how that idea came about, because it's not like most people just sit back and like, oh, I think I'm gonna create the Facebook, LinkedIn of the culinary world.
So yeah, my business partner Frans and we had a web development company with a focus in branding and marketing. And with my background always being hospitality, we had quite a few chefs reaching out to me from my past lives of like, hey, can you help me with my personal brand? I'm wanting to do something a little extra on the weekends or at nights or when my day's off. So we looked at them, and unfortunately our price point and the time that it took to run through a full web development process never aligned. So we realized that, there's got to be a better way to work with these chefs. How about, what if we build like a personal website? Well, then we had this like aha moment, like, whoa, wait, is something out there like that? And as soon as you have an idea, the first thing you do is you Google it, right? We Googled it, everything, and we didn't see anything that we like. There was nothing out there that we saw that was going on like in our minds, like how we wanted it to work out. So immediately after we had this idea, we started reaching out to some chefs that we know locally. And they were like, yeah, this is something we would totally use. And it just snowballed from there.
It's incredible, though. I mean, in such a short amount of time, when you go on Chef's Roll, this is like the who's who of the culinary world. It's the people you see on Food TV and Food Network, and every cooking show is on your site. In fact, I've done a little research, and I saw that a lot of these shows actually utilize your site to find candidates for their productions. Incredible, right?
Yeah, it was neat. About a little over a year ago or so, we started having a couple of the networks reaching out to us pretty regularly asking if we could make introductions to certain chefs that they saw on our network. And we said, yeah, of course. The reason we really built this is because we wanted to provide opportunity for chefs globally, not just locally and not just nationally. Mm-hmm. So Top Chef, Bravo, Food Network, all these shows.
Everybody is on your site.
Which is awesome. It makes us happy that chefs that normally maybe would not have been found or seen by some of these networks or some of these producers are actually, in fact, being highlighted now because of their talents and not just because they happen to be on one of these shows previously.
Right. It's incredible. I think it's so much credibility to your site that really just stemmed it hasn't been that long, right? How long has it been since you started Chef's Roll?
So we fully launched in October of 2013. So it's coming up
Wow.
on 2 years. And to date, we have over 10,000 chefs from 127 countries that are utilizing the platform.
Wow. And how many monthly unique visitors do you have? I saw the number. It was huge.
Yeah, so unique visitors is nearing 20,000, and
Right.
then page views is topping like 65,000
Wow.
per month, and that's growing. And our social media is nearing 200,000 followers, which is really neat. It provides us the opportunity and the ability to effectively get information across to the social media world and the culinary enthusiasts that we have following us.
Yeah, it's really interesting that you say this because I think it was about 2 years ago, and I started watching just like everybody else. We were so into Top Chef, right? I mean, who's not into food? And then great food, right? And I told my one of my business colleagues, I said, chefs are today's celebrity. There's one thing to talk about, like, obviously I have a lot of celebrity friends and contacts, but a chef comes into the room. It's magical. You don't know this, and even my team doesn't know this, but, well, actually some of my team does. But a couple of years ago, I decided to get a chef's coat to wear for Halloween. And I went on eBay and got one of those like little patches that said Master Chef. So just stuck it on because it was like colorful. Because like you said, it's all about presentation, right? Stuck it on. I went into Whole Foods and Costco. I can't tell you how many people came up to me and said, "Chef," and they wanted to take pictures with me and talk to me. And I was like, "Holy moly! You realize today's Halloween, right?" Because I'm not a chef, but it just gives you an insight. So, as you know, you and I both have some really good close friends that are really big chefs, and it's incredible the attention that they've amassed. And I feel like it's a really positive thing. I'm so pleased and proud to be your friend because knowing that we are in this community, meaning that our friends are good chefs, and the hard work that they do and the artistry that they do in elevating their brand and their reach is a big thing.
Yeah, it's amazing how over the last 5 to 10 years, how culinary has really transformed from a job into a true passion and something more than just going to work every day. People, even the younger ones, the people coming out of culinary school now are so passionate about what they do, and the fact that they're willing. Most of them, I should say, are still willing to put in the time it takes to get to some of the echelons that we see of these world famous chefs. But with these TV shows, I think it's inflating the minds of some of our chefs. But at the same time, it's amazing how popular chefs and culinary has become.
Right, absolutely. And I love how on your site, you don't just highlight executive chefs. You highlight every role in the kitchen, in the restaurant, so that anybody from someone who's just starting off, who's thinking about becoming a chef, to being an executive chef on TV, you basically have a safe place for all of them.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, we're starting to work with a lot of culinary schools around the nation. We're providing them opportunities, and in fact, some of the schools are actually putting it into requirement of that some of the courses they're taking is part of the curriculum that you have to join Chef's Roll because it gives you an opportunity to start building a professional online presence where it's also connecting and networking with people within your field. Where LinkedIn has paved the way for every type of market like Chef's Roll is in. It's not Chef's Roll is specific to the culinary world. So these schools are seeing the opportunities and the benefits for their students to join now and get intertwined within Chef's Roll as they continue moving on into their career.
It seems like such a smart idea. If I was a chef, I certainly would. I think the premium membership even is so reasonable. We're talking $99 a year, correct?
Yeah, so we do. There's two different options. One is a basic profile, which allows us to have everybody join. Right, you are able to still
That's
upload.
like LinkedIn Basic.
Exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. So, but then with the $99 a year, it really allows you to expand your profile and add in a whole bunch more of information that'll really help you and your online presence shine.
Right, right. And what's interesting about this, you started this business with just $100,000,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, in fact, we bootstrapped almost everything, and we did get we raised $100,000 the first I don't know 8 months or so. From friends and family that really helped us out. And then we have a couple of other private investors, but for the most part, it's been a passion project for us as well.
Yeah.
And it's, when we first started, it was very boots on the ground. It was very organically built. And, my business partner and I, we were traveling everywhere. We still do travel quite a bit, but
I'm sure your wife doesn't want you to be traveling as much now with your 14-month-old. But yeah, I mean, you're everywhere. I know I was supposed to go to this one concert, Kaboo, in San Diego, and I know you were there and you had a big presence. So it's been a very big difference in the last 2 years. So you were talking about your event at Kaboo. Can you share that with us? How big was that for you?
Oh, it was wonderful. So Kaboo, a name you'll never forget.
Right.
It's such
It's
a
like Yahoo. You'll never forget.
Yeah. Brian, actually, the founder of Kaboo, I had lunch with him probably 6 months ago, talking about his vision. He'd been putting it on. His vision had been quite further prior to that. But I was working with him, and then I began working with Cindy, who's become like my best friend now. She was the culinary director of operations for Kaboo, and her and I had this vision of how we wanted to bring culinary into a music fest, and we didn't want it to be just all about music, right? I mean, the music is the draw, but music festivals can be so much more nowadays, especially with culinary being as popular it is. So we put our heads together and we thought, let's put on a competition. And we have this beautiful indoor space that was like 50 or 60,000 square feet, and we just turned this, what looks like a normal warehouse, into a beautiful, beautiful landscape, if you will, of different restaurants and spirits and wines and all these things. But we had this culinary stage, which was sponsored by Perch. Have you heard of Perch before?
Absolutely. I bought my refrigerator there.
Oh my God, Perch is just absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
And one of their vendors, Jen Air, who donated the two 30-inch 4-burner ranges that we used on stage.
That's
as
a
well
nice
as,
donation.
Oh yeah, it was wonderful. So put on this beautiful awesome competition between some of San Diego's best chefs, and in fact, the winner, Jason McLeod, is also he earned 2 Michelin stars in Chicago.
Wow.
And he owns several restaurants down in San Diego now, and they're just killing it. One of them's Ironside Fish and Oyster in Little Italy, and it's just. Anyways,
I want to eat at these places, Susie Day. We're gonna have to go. Okay.
They're awesome, and it was so the overall event was just such a success. Troy Johnson was our MC. We had amazing judges, and the whole event just went so much better than we could have even anticipated.
I saw the video that you did. It's incredible. Well, we'll have to make sure. Where can they see this? And where can we follow your next event? Because I definitely want to go to your next event.
Yeah, so we put everything that we're doing. We always put on Facebook. So you go to facebook.com/chefsroll. You go to chefsroll.com, and then also we have a beautiful feed on Instagram. So Instagram.
Yeah, your Instagram photos are beautiful. What I love about that too, I think there was a line on Chef's Roll. Let me know if this is correct. It's all about the presentation.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I love that because your images on Instagram are beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, we highlight a lot of our chefs. We highlight chefs that we feel are just killing it. We like to find the pictures, and I have chefs from all over the world email me all the time. Hey, can you put this on? And it's like I try my best, and some definitely make it on. Others I have to wait until I get a different picture. But for the most part, it's really neat to see food from literally all over the world, from all walks of culinary life, and it's just phenomenal to see.
Amazing. Well, I'm so grateful that we came together because I just feel like there was a reason. Well, let's do this. Tell us what's ahead for you. What can we look forward to from you, Thomas?
Yeah, so Chef's Roll is putting on these events called Chef's Plate. on the one we did in LA just 2 nights ago. We're on our 5th one now. We plan to have 2 or 3 more by the end of 2015, and in 2016 we're going to be doing them all over the country.
Oh wow!
So definitely look for us there. If you go to chefsroll.com, you'll see on the top bar there's what's called Chef's Plate. Click on that. If you want us to come to your city, just literally send us an email to support@chefsroll.com and let us know why we should. We'll do that. So we're definitely looking for that. Kaboo 2016 is going to be big. We got a bunch of food and wine festivals, so look out for us. We're coming all over the place.
Amazing. Which is just going to be good news to chefs all over the planet because, like together, we have a similar passion and we want to elevate the lives of chefs. So I think that's where our friendship kind of stemmed. So I'm so grateful for you coming in. I would love to reconnect with you and have you come back on the show and kind of let's just keep on talking because there's so much that we can do for this incredible group of individuals.
Thank you. I look forward to it.
Who make us happy each and every day.
Every day.
Yeah. And with that, I am so grateful, Thomas, for you for being on the show. You know how to follow Thomas for sure, but let's go ahead and get your handles on Instagram as well as Facebook so that we can share with the audience.
Yeah, sure. So Instagram is just @chefsroll, CHEFSROLL, and Facebook is facebook.com/chefsroll.
Perfect. And the website. And for those of you who are following me, I'm very active on Twitter, and that's Sun Group WP. And you can find me online as well as at winniesun.com. And thanks so much for tuning into the Renegade Millionaire Show. To learn more about us, feel free to check out the website, renegademillionaireshow.com, and we will talk to you next time. Thank you.